you just say action?
Apparently you're supposed to clap.
Yeah, because then you know where it gives you a marker for beginning to edit sound and match things up if you have multiple cameras.
Yeah.
It makes editing so much easier because then you just look for that in the waveform.
That really is the whole of film, right? The beginning and then the ending. It's alright, you always have to belch to give yourself permission to begin a video.
I guess so. Yeah.
So we were going to talk about ETs, aliens, these creatures from other worlds, other stars, who arrive. I mean, the idea is, I guess, and it seems like this goes pretty far back. There's evidence of space beings coming in like hieroglyphics in Central America, and there's evidence of it in like medieval Europe of something coming from the sky and like interacting with people. Maybe sometimes it's described as angels, or so they're kinds of like divine beings, demigods or gods. But in the 20th century, it's been mostly these technological visions of advanced technology that can defy gravity and like do all these crazy maneuvers, and it's the sort of thing that military guys are like, wow, did you see that? It's like, hot dog. Like you listen to these recordings and it's just like, it's as if the aliens designed First Contact specifically to trigger the adolescent male imagination to be like, that's not one of ours. Like that's something otherworldly. And Pentagon's like, yep, we don't know.
That's really interesting point.
But the point I would want to make about aliens, just to begin, is that even if we are talking about intelligent beings that have arrived from other star systems in metal ships or interdimensional ships of some kind,
they're geometric.
Who knows? Well, how do you travel through space, like deep space?
Like fold it up.
You have to fold and unfold. It's an origami operation.
Yeah, it's like a Neoplatonic.
We're still working with rockets, and for these beings to have arrived on Earth, they would have had to have discovered origami, like space-time origami.
I think most of the images that I've seen, like the descriptions of different of the shapes of the unidentified aircraft, they're very geometrical. Yeah. It's like a triangle or just And what did they call it? The tic tac?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's not a normal aircraft shape. It's perfect. Like it has symmetry.
But what are we talking about here?
Well, we're talking about...
What are these? Is this a projection of this particular, military imagination onto a nebulous other that maybe the others are arriving, right? The spiritual beings are arriving on the Earth again, and humans are seeing them in a variety of different ways. And some people, the Pentagon, let's say, sees them as TikTok, like anti-gravity supercrafts or hyper...
Well, and that may be
whatever they call them.
Like the scientific description of the phenomena,
right.
But it doesn't say what it is.
So what is it? What do you think it is?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know either, but what do you think?
I don't know, because I feel like they're different. I feel like I'm just beginning to think about the cosmos differently than the way I was conditioned to think of it, which is to think of it as like this kind of material thing only. And the Earth is just kind of like somewhere, like in it. Whereas now I'm starting to think more like, well, I've just had certain assumptions or conditioning challenged by a different, like a kind of Neoplatonic understanding of the cosmos and just geometry and everything. And so I'm like, so what are these star systems and other planets? Like what are they? Because I thought I knew, but I I think it's much more mysterious than I thought it was.
Yeah. I mean, the sky was already mysterious enough for the idea of other intelligences arriving here.
Yeah,
out of the sky even became a cultural phenomenon. But the stars are evidence of intelligence already, probably. I mean, for the ancients, for the pre-modern people, stars, pre is a strong prefix. Maybe just the non-modern, for the non-modern peoples, they're still among us. The sky is already intelligent. Right? Mm-hmm. There's already evidence of
it's like stupefyingly intelligent.
Yeah, but for the
That's
modern,
what it feels like.
For the modern mind, you have to have an intelligent being, an advanced technological, civilization around in order for intelligence to have been proven to you. Like, oh wow, yes, there is intelligence in the universe. But that's such a it's just gratuitous, like it's extra evidence, I guess.
Well, it's just so abstract, right? It's so abstract from like self-understanding, basically, I think, right? As a human being,
So how could we ourselves ever encounter an alien, something truly outside of our imagination of the world? We're always going to meet it to some degree through our own projections. I mean, at least initially. Mm-hmm. We can't encounter beings from another world without seeing them in our own terms.
Yeah.
And
so like one way to approach the situation is to, when the phenomena begin to reveal themselves, to just attend to them and let it tell you what it is, as much as it that can happen. I think that's kind of like a Goethean way of. So I don't know what they're like.
Do you think the alien phenomenon, or all of these phenomena, these it's not just like random hillbillies in the Appalachia, it's like
it's pentagon. All over the world.
And they have evident video and radar and infrared evidence. And so at this point it's like, okay, the aliens are arriving. They're arriving. But what is that?
They're like, shit is going crazy down there.
It is going crazy down there.
They're like, okay, we need to intervene, maybe.
So you think they're here to help?
I have no idea. I like that idea, but I don't know that that's the truth. Or
you keep talking about knowledge and truth. This is YouTube. I just want to hear what you think.
I don't know. I don't have a position. I'm just curious, and it feels to me very exciting that this is happening, and not because I have any fixed ideas about what it means, but because it feels like a break in the matrix.
Right, but it's also one aspect of a larger break in the matrix, right?
Yeah, but this is an intense one.
Well, so is like the Anthropocene and like.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, they're related.
They're related.
Yeah, right? Because when becoming a planetary being means that you're also a cosmic being.
Right. I mean, it might be the impetus we need to mature as a species, is coming in contact with another species which is so alien, truly, like that we can't. I mean, the Pentagon, I guess, is going to admit in this report, and who knows whether this is a psyop from the beginning or what is actually going on. I don't know. But
but it's something
they're admitting
that's
they
happening.
don't know what these crafts are.
Yeah.
And so it leaves the question open for like exo-philosophers or just members of the public in general to fill in the blank. And I think we are filling the blanks in all sorts of ways. Like the arrival of the others are awakening to the fact that there are non-human intelligences in the universe.
Even just the question, induces people to think, like, we're trying to think about it right now. And it relativizes us in a way that, maybe is what we need?
Well, it might be hard. If it's what we need, it might be strong medicine.
I have this idea where there's like examples of virtuous beings that then can be, inspiring, in order to, that is a kind of utopian vision.
So you mean it's like Jesus Christ and his team of like world savers that just show up and
or
clean up and baptize everything and just bring about the Kuan Yin and Sophia and Mary, Mother Mary. They
I don't know.
Show up at the end of history and they're like, "Whoa!"
Yes, and the music of the
honey
spheres
and
becomes
wine
audible again.
And fish for all. I mean, that sounds good to me. I think the best invention I've ever seen in any sci-fi. He's not interested in being on camera. Best invention I've ever seen is the.
He's a Leo.
Is it? Philo.
So you think he would?
There's a machine. You don't know Star Trek, but there's a machine on the Starship Enterprise that like. All the starships that makes food out of nothing. It materializes it just by like. It's like the ultimate 3D printer. So you just order whatever you want, and it 3D prints.
Oh. I've seen that in sci-fi movies.
A Caesar salad or a
it's like
mignon.
pew pew.
Yeah.
It
sounds just like
it's
that.
kind of like closing a microwave when you open it. Whatever you want comes out.
Yeah, it's totally
like I don't know if I trust that.
It's thermodynamically impossible, but that would solve all our human problems. But I think that's just the male adolescent mind imagining.
Because he's not making the food.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate.
It just shows
I don't have to worry about that anymore. Yeah. But I think we need other imaginations of aliens.
I think so too.
Not just as advanced technological beings, but as advanced in virtue and morality and insight and wisdom.
And some people talk about them that way. We watched that documentary about the woman who lived in Canada. I can't remember her name.
She seemed American to me, but I don't remember.
But she was experiencing, there were multiple people who had taken interest in her situation, and she was experiencing what they, felt based on the evidence, that she was experiencing some kind of genuine contact with beings, and she described them as that way. But it was so ambiguous and intangible. You didn't get any sense of like they were from another planet. It was like more that they were part of light somehow, and also that they were in your presence in a way that reflects your own state of consciousness. So like when she was scared of them, she began to have scary experiences.
Yeah, so it's very participatory.
Yeah. And like
the sky is a mirror of the soul, right? I mean, that would be. It's Neoplatonic. It's Jungian.
But then, what about the fact that we can go to other planets? That's the thing you have to integrate.
We've sent machines there.
We can at least go to the moon.
Some dudes to the moon.
Isn't it crazy that people think that that's not true? I don't really understand that.
Like I said, this is YouTube, truth, knowledge, whatever.
Okay.
No such thing.
Okay, I'm getting used to YouTube.
Yes, but
YouTube.
For the sake of the story we're trying to tell, we landed on the moon.
Yes.
We're about to go to Mars, I guess, unless.
No, I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, I mean. Thermo-industrial civilization might crash before we can get off this planet.
Wish he would just pour his energy in trying to save the world. Yeah.
Well, he is. I mean,
no, he's not. I don't think so.
He's trying to save the world.
It's cool. Electric cars are cool, but I think the Mars thing is a little.
What about Starlink? Do you like how he's putting up endless chains of mini satellites that totally ruin astronomy because telescopes are just picking up these long parades of.
What is that for?
Internet access.
Oh.
It's like high-speed internet access anywhere on the planet, and so all these people that couldn't get access, or at least not at good speeds, all of a sudden join that economy, that world.
I didn't know that.
But it destroys the sky for astronomers, and it puts all this junk into space. I mean, outer space is a complete junkyard.
Really?
Yeah.
They've just been throwing shit
into orbit, and there's
into orbit.
Small little chunks of metal that are flying around at 30,000 miles per hour.
Oh my god! I feel like that's gonna really come back
to the space station.
Bite us.
It is already. You've seen that movie Gravity, right?
Oh god, that movie was really intense.
Sandra Bullock.
Watch out for Kitty Cat.
And George Clooney. Well, he's the director.
That movie really made me cry. I was like, I never want to leave Earth. That's why I think about
Philo.
Philo. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Get down. Oh.
He's funny. He's bad.